Hello. Okay, let's do some Advent of Code. Since we're all here, hey, by all, I think it's just me in a moment. Wasn't quite as ready as I thought it was. Let's close all these things. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what today's challenge is. Part one of today's challenge is day number 6. Okay, the steep floor is getting steeper. Maybe the sleigh keys got carried this way. A massive school of glowing lanternfish swims by. You must spawn quickly to react. Oh dear. let me get my tongue in the right place. A massive school of glowing lanternfish swims by. They must spawn quickly to reach such large numbers, maybe exponentially quickly. There's a clue to what we're doing today. You should model their growth rate to be sure. Although you know nothing about this specific species of lanternfish, you make some guesses about their attributes. Surely each lanternfish creates a new lanternfish once every 7 days. However, this process isn't necessarily synchronized between every lanternfish. One lanternfish might have 2 days left until it creates another lanternfish, while another might have 4. So you can't model each fish as a single number that represents the number of days until it creates an so you can model each fish as a single number that represents the number of days until it creates a new lanternfish. Furthermore, you reason, a new lanternfish would surely need slightly longer before it's capable of producing more lanternfish, 2 more days for its first cycle. So, suppose you have a lanternfish with an internal timer value of 3. After 1 day, its internal timer would become 2. After another day, its internal timer would become 1. After another day, its internal timer would become 0. After another day, its internal timer would reset to 6, and it would create a new lanternfish with an internal number of 8. After another day, the first lanternfish would have an internal timer of 5. The second lanternfish would have an internal timer of 7. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing very well, can you? You want this one. Hello. A lanternfish that creates a new fish resets its timer to 6, not 7, because 0 is included as a valid timer value. The new lanternfish starts with an internal timer of 8 and does not start counting down until the next day. Realizing what you're trying to do, the submarine automatically produces a list of the ages of several hundred nearby lanternfish. Your puzzle input. So, for example, suppose you were given the following list: 3, 4, 3, 1, 2. This list means that the first fish has an internal timer number of 3, the second fish is an internal timer of 4, and so on until the fifth fish, which has an internal number of 2. So simulating these fish over several days would proceed as follows. Each day a 0 becomes a 6 and adds a new 8 to the end of the list, while each other number decreases by 1 if it was present at the start of the day. In this example, after 18 days, there are a total of 26 fish. After 80 days, there will be a total of 5,935. Find a way to simulate lanternfish. How many lanternfish would there be after 80 days? Okay. I think we need to clear that queue out a bit. Popping up with some chats from the other day. Go away, yesterday's messages. There we go. Okie doke. So we're on day 6.cs. And we're going to have a namespace. I'm going to name that namespace day 6. I'm actually going to create a lanternfish class just because I feel like they might it might make it make the second half of the task simpler. Okay, that's going to have a constructor. That shortcut is a bit broken. And that lanternfish is going to take an int, and that's cycle. We're also going to need a like the variable name, but that's fine. If it doesn't have a cycle, I'm also going to have a an overload with no parameters, and that's going to set the cycle to 8 because that's what a new lanternfish has. Okay. Then we have a class for my shoal of lanternfish. So this is going to take the string of the input name, and we're going to be able to read in the input, which is a comma separated list. Okay, so we're going to read that as a string. Inputs dot read. I'm going to read that as a string. So just using my inputs class, which is reading files from disk and converting them into converting each line into a each line into whatever I tell it to. So this is going to be a string. At this point, it'd be nice actually if I had a sort of read CSV option as well, rather than just read the lines. But that's fine. Name, and we're going to spool first. Split on comma. Select a new lanternfish with an impulse. Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. Int pass of x. So we're sort of trusting the inputs here, so I'm not going to do any validation as per every other day so far. And that's going to be IEnumerable. Let's make it a list. I've learnt my lesson of lantern fish, and that's going to be fish. Oh, to list. The reason I'm doing as a list is because we're going to add things to it, and it's just a bit easier to cope with it as a list. So then we're going to have a method I'm going to call it age. And what that's going to do is for each fish in fish, I'm going to do a fish dot cycle. Oh, no, didn't do that. I'm going to say if switch on fish dot cycle. So I think in most circumstances we want to do cycle plus plus. I think we should also have a new list of babies. So if their age has reached 6, is there any other cases? So far not, is there? If the age has reached 6, then we're going to because we don't want the babies to age, so we're going to say we're going to go babies dot add new mountainfish. Pass in it. If we don't pass anything into the structure, that gives them an age of 8, a cycle position of 8. Sorry, is that right? Is that how the starting positions work? Yeah, internal timer of 8. Cool. So that's all we need to do currently. I'm gonna leave it as a switch because we could do actually is a case. Sure, that's slightly convoluted. We only want to increase it if it's not 6, because fish dot cycle can now become 0. Wait, case? Yeah, the numbers always go down. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So that's what happens every day, basically. So I'm going to have another method. Simulate days, int num days, default to 80 because that's what we've been asked to do. So I'm going to go for, at the end of all of this for eaching, we need to go fish dot add range babies. Then it'll age again. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it, really. I overcomplicated it a bit by having this class, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Simulate days. Why doesn't it like this? Oh, I'm not returning an int. That's why. Num days. We're just going to do age. And then at the end, we're going to return fish.length count. Sorry. And we can also do a console write line in here. I kind of want it to just return cycle to string. I kind of want to override the toString of this as well. Why is that not happy? Is it because why isn't that happy? There we go. And what I'm going to do is return fish dot select to string. Oh, string join. Yeah, it's a bit ugly, but having that debug flag, but it's just going to be easiest because I tend when I'm debugging, I tend to actually debug from the command from not debugging mode. So at this point, we want to do. Let's actually stick this all on one line. I've just decided that I quite like it when the output of this matches the output of that, although getting that to line up is a bit of a pain. I might just do a I with 2 decimal places, 2 digits at all times. And then I want to output this dot toString. Also, if debug at the start, I'm going to do the initial state. Okay, so we should, we need to call this from somewhere, and we need to create the input files. So it's add a folder, day 6, add a file, example.txt. That's a nice simple one there. And then in program CS, we can var shoal equals new day 6 dot shoal with the input day 6 example. And then we're going to do shoal dot simulate days 80 var count, and then we're going to also do a console write line of count. Whoops. See where that gets us. So we're looking for an output similar to this. Oh, I didn't do debug. Oh, debug is true by default. 5934, awesome. So let's do that with the real input. None of these. Input.txt. And we're going to not debug this one because it will take a bit longer. It's not too bad actually, that length of that file, but let's see what we get. Let's try it. That's the right answer. Fantastic. Okay, part 2. And this is where we hope that some of the ways I've done this is not, at least not incompatible with part 2. Okay, that's just a case of increasing my number of days, right? 256. Try with the example first. Takes a long time. We're starting to get into the into crazy numbers here. So it might take a little while. While we're waiting, I suppose we could create a thumbnail, couldn't we? I think that probably took a screenshot. Yes, it did. That's the thumbnail for my YouTube upload of this. It's very slow. Fortunately, I don't have to so I don't have to run this too many more times, assuming it works, of course. But I'm just looking at so we're doing lots of looping if we output the results. We definitely don't want to be doing that. So I'm looping through the number of days. This loop is only happening 256 times, so that's nothing, except of course in each one of these age events, we're looping through all of them every time. And that number's getting bigger every time, exponentially. So this is a n factorial complexity, which isn't ideal. But the nature of what we're doing, I don't see how we can make it any simpler, other than I don't actually need this lanternfish to be a lanternfish. I could simplify that and only use integers. In fact, I could only use a bit, and that would save a bit of memory allocation. I wonder how my memory's doing. Should be fine, surely. Oh, I am using all my memory. Mostly that's streaming, but actually it is using a lot of memory. Okay, let's do a performance tune here then. I'll leave that running. Oh no, I won't. I've accidentally closed it. So let's ditch this whole lanternfish class. And then we just do an int pass here. Oh, I made the mistake of I need to commit this because I might want to come back to it and other people might want to see this bit. So let's commit and push this. Did I not commit day 5? I didn't commit day 5 either. So let's commit day 5. Day 5. And then day 6, part 1. And let's push that. Okay, now we can go back to what we were doing. So we're going to get rid of this lanternfish class. And we're just going to, actually, we're just going to use bits here. So inputs is going to be a list of bit. Right. Foolish, Joe, foolish. Byte. The list isn't great either. This we also want to be a for loop because where we've just got a byte, we can't just if we update fish because of the reference type, it's not going to work. That's just going to assign it to that variable. The fish list will not get updated. So we want to know which index to update. I'm not still on part 1. I'm making my part 1 more performant so that I over-engineered my exam, my first part, thinking it would be helpful when I came into part 2. It was not. So it doesn't need that. So I'm simplifying this to make it run a bit faster because I haven't got all day to sit here. I have a bit of a history of doing some really unperformance stuff for this where I'm trying to be quick. So I'm going to get my fish eye and I'm going to set my fishy here and do that. Can I do that? Yeah, cool. Then at the end, I'm going to go, can I do that as a byte array? And then we're going to do fish. What can I do? Can I? What am I trying to do here? Have a real good look at that total fish count for the sample. Yeah, it's big. Or this one here. Yeah. Oh, it's easy to estimate it, right? With by working out what your factorial thing is, but not so much for the actual value with the exact value. I think we still got to work it out properly, don't we? Or are you telling me there's a lazier way? Can't do a push on an array on in JavaScript. Oh, not in JavaScript. Shall I just do another for loop What to go? Count -1. Yeah, I was maxing out my memory when I had this a bit more complicated. So I'm just hoping um, that my simplifying of types is going to be enough to get me somewhere near that limit. So I haven't shared Lars's comment. It'll come around in a second. Well, let's see if I was to just do this for my 80-day sample. Let's just make sure that we've got the same number. Index outside the bounds of the array. Oh, cool. Found a method. Oh, no, you can't do that. I've forgotten how to work with arrays in .NET. Every time I've been doing this, I've been writing JavaScript every single time. Can I not just... Wait, where is it exceptioning? Before that, where did it exception? Where did it exception? Oh, here. Am I debugging? No. So why is this? The terminal's having a breakdown. Okay, that's not helpful. Line 54. Here. How do you? Yeah, I'm sure I can just stick more things on the array, right? Is that not how arrays are fixed length? Are they? Can I use a thingy array? Uh, array list. That's more performant than a list, right? I was trying to avoid the list as well, just to give myself a worse API to work with. No, to improve my performance. I'm just going to keep one list and to list. Oh, spoiler alert. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, I'll come across that limit in a bit. You solved it in a totally different way. Interesting. I want to get this error now. I want to see this error for myself. What was I doing? Add for list, right? So still, is that the right answer? No. What have I done now? 13983. Oh, that's my example. That's an example input, so that's also wrong. Oh, I'm doing 80. After 80 days, there would be 5934. Okay, that's definitely very wrong. That might be that. 5934. Awesome. Okay, so that's still working. Now, let's do it for the example for 256 days. This is where I'm going to do a commit here as well. This is where we should get Lars's error of you enjoy your popcorn, Lars. I want to see the error for myself. Not that I don't trust you, I just want to, if you get spoilers for a film, you still can watch the film, right? 50 seconds, what to come up with the error. My memory is a lot happier. Sorry, just reporting spam. Spam. Right. When did I start this? There's no timestamp in there. That's helpful. My memory's still okay though, so I'm doing a lot better than last time. But like you say, I'm going to hit that hard limit. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for that error, I'm going to see if I can. So when you say you solved it in a completely different way, I bet you did something clever. I'm wondering though whether I can just do one sort of lineage at a time, one family tree at a time. So effectively break this down into several shoals, but with one shoal for each of the starting numbers, and then just top that up. At the end, so that's going to divide it by, going to divide this input by, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, divided by 5-ish. What's max int? This is taking forever, still not crashed yet. Try to visualize what happens. So we might be able to subtract these from the end value doing the n factorial type thing. So it's doubling every 7 days minus some days. Um, hmm. All right, let's try. So if it's doubling every 7 days, then doubles is going to be 256 divided by 7 ish. I'll work out how this affects them at the end. And then, all right, Lars is showing off now. Then I'm going to count the inputs. So we've got 1, 2, 5 inputs. So the answer is going to be the inputs something like that. Let's see if that gets me anywhere near. Okay, I'm bored of this now. Nope. What am I doing? It's in the right ballpark. No, it's not. It's a factor of 10 out and then some. Okay. So I'm timesing by 2 every time. So I've got 2 times 2 times 2. So I've got that's the same as 2 to the 3. It's doubled 3 times. 2 to the 3 is 8. Yeah. So that doubles every time. That doubles it that many times. And then I kind of want to take away what the sum of these. No, 8. Something to do with 8 minus this. But this is a factor of 10 out, so that doesn't work. Oh, and there's the minus. You got to do another number of days. No, this is too complicated. I can't work this out. It's too abstract. I don't like abstract things. I like to reflect what's actually happening. I genuinely do not have the brain for that at this time of night. I'm gonna go back to my unfortunately, my bedtime is surprisingly soon. So, oops. That's 10 times out what we can handle. So even dividing it by the initial 5 inputs is not going to get us anywhere near. Imagine a bar graph and consider what happens to it. Yeah, it's exponential. But more simple behavior, it doubles. Doubles every 7 days. That's what happens. Simple behavior is the key. What happens to the graph if you visualize it? Bar per page. Per age, sorry. Oh, it goes up by a 7th. It doesn't double at all. It goes up by a 7th. So even simpler. So every day you times the number of fish by 1.7. Right, no, wait, what's a 7th? Not 1.7. Oh dear. So every day, even simpler. No magic. I don't know. I don't know what you're both getting at here. Imagine the bar graph and the difference the next day. So the bar, let's look at day 1 and day 2. It's increasing by, that's the bar graph. It's a bar graph if you flip it on its side and don't look at the numbers. Population by age. Ah, okay, I see what you mean. I still haven't got the brain power to work it out. So the number of they move down 1 and add yeah, they move down 1 and add some. Oh, and add. They don't add. They can't add 1. They don't add 1, do they? Add 1 to the 8s. But there are no 8s because they've all aged. So the number of and they take the number from the left-hand side of the graph and stick it on the right. Sorry, these messages are way out of date. Let's clear this. So I got my bar graph. We're going back to paint. I've got a bar graph and we've got some age along the bottom and we've got number up the side. So initially we got 1, 1, 1 2, 2 3s, and 1 4. Then we get 1. Then it all shifts that way, and it takes the number from here and puts it up at 8. So the increase in population is however many zeros there are each day. So, and this is going to be a repeating pattern. So is it a repeating pattern? It's going to be this 0 0. No, it's not gonna. No, I don't know. I can't do it. Genuinely can't work it out. No, I don't see it. I could write a load of code to work out what the pattern might be, but I'm pretty much out of time. So I'm gonna have to call it. I think I can't work it out, and my half hour is well over. I've also been trying to limit myself to an hour, and then quite often not noticing until an hour and a half. The zero's on this end. No, it's going to be something to do with the number of the starting state and something else. But no, I cannot work it out. Getting more hints in the chat. I just missed the last bit of the rule. I've closed Paint now. I thought I minimized it. I closed it. Yeah, but I can't work it out. I don't really want to write a script to draw a bar graph either to help me work it out, because I'm not going to get that done in 5 minutes and write the answer. I don't have Excel. You think I'm paid the big bucks? Can't afford that. That's more like it. Google Sheets. Oh, you can't see this. That'd be helpful. I probably want it over here actually, don't I? So on day 1, I have none that are 0, one that is 1. Oh, on day 0 even. Yeah. On 2, 2 3s, 1 4, 0 0. Day 2, they're going to have 1, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Oh yeah, I think I messed up. I think I gave up on one of my ideas because there should have only been 2 zeros, and I couldn't work out why it was only. No, I still don't understand that. Day 2, I've got 2 1s. Maybe that plus that. No, 2 1s. 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, and that one's going to have a baby. Oh, sorry, 7, 8. Oh, yeah. So 0, 0, 0, 0. That one's had a baby, so that's 1, and that one goes back to 6. So we've got 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, and those 2. Oh, sorry, that's not 0. That's 2, and that's D. Day 2, 4. Should be. Can't remember what my pattern is now. Wait, this is all wrong. Yeah, all of this is wrong. I've messed up. That's a 1, that's a 2. That's a 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. One. Stop day 2 and day 3. Oh yeah, I should have done. That's 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, it automatically told me what I wanted to type. That was cool. Day 4. I mean, I kind of want to do this. That doesn't work. That needs to be equals that. And 6 needs to be equals that plus that. Is that right? No. So 6 is 3 because it's that plus that. That is that. That is that. So I've even started to F8. Right, what am I matching it to? Oh yeah. Good spot. E2. Yeah, so then I can bring that across as well, right? Sorry, it's E. There you go. Okay, cool. Day 5, day 6. The pattern should emerge. I mean, my population's staying at 10. That's not right. Stop staying at 10. Get bigger. There we go. Okay, cool. My formulas translate to C#. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Oh, so I'm just having a collection of longs here, aren't I? So I'm still looping through, but I'm not storing all the data. I'm just storing the ages. Day 6, B. Ditch all of this. You know what, public. Do stuff. So I'm then going to have an array. Oh, you can't see that if I put it over there. Okay, then I'm going to have an array var ages. And that's going to be wait, count. What am I doing? I don't want to sum. This is my starting position. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we know that's 0. 0. Oh, we don't know that's 0 actually. Sure. And then we're going to go for days. We're going to set ages 8 is the same as 8, wait, G2. So that's the same. Yes, if I'm working down, if I'm working up, we're safe. I can go ages 0. Ages 7 is G. No, I can't do it that way at all. Let's go. This works. So the 0th element is ages 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is just for my sanity. Oh, why did I start on 9? What's wrong with me? Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be 7 plus ages 0. That is going to be 8, and that is going to be 0. And then we're going to return, woo, hello, ages dot sum. And that is a long. Then we're going to do day 6 dot day 6b dot do stuff with day 6 example 265, right, wasn't it? That works better when you put the quotes in the right place. Is that what the challenge was? So looking at the example input after 256. Coming close to an hour and a half again. 3, 9. Ah, congratulations, Lars. You've done it. Okay, so let's do that with the real input. Yes, all right, the performance is somewhat better. Hey, 1 gold star. Thank you very much, Lars, for that. I would have definitely given up. I feel like I should have given up because I didn't really solve it. Yeah, I really struggled to do the sort of thought abstraction stuff when I'm trying to do it on a time limit because I don't like to sit and think about the easier way to do it when I know I'm on a time limit. And that's a problem I know I have had in. Yeah. Now, dictionary would make sense actually, rather than me annotating every line that I'm writing. Just yeah, dictionary makes more sense. Yeah, it's a problem I've had with other sort of assessments as well, where I know I'm on a time limit, so I don't think about it more abstractly, because like you say, you can spend hours thinking about it abstractly and not get anywhere. So generally, especially in these challenges, I've gone for very poor performance. But of course, when it doesn't actually return, it's a bit different. Right, I really need to go now because I'm over by 15 minutes. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me. Lars and Simon were both a lot of help there. So thanks for that. And you've got Lars's answer here as well in the comments. They haven't shown up in, I can't share it. Why can't I share it? There, oh, it's cut off the HTTP, but I cut off HTTPS somehow. Here's Lars's solution. Yeah, so it reads a lot nicer, but yes, a tiny bit more memory. I'm sure you can cope. Nice one. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. If I can summon the energy, I'll be back here tomorrow again at about 6 p.m. Definitely doing after work now because these are all taking at least an hour now. So yeah, and you're of course using tests, Lars. I haven't quite. I keep saying I want to rewrite it to use tests, but I just haven't yet. One day, probably on day 25. Cool. Thank you very much. Speak to you tomorrow.